26.2 miles with no crowds, aid station or a medal. Why am I doing this? I'll let you know in a bit, but first, Boston Marathon route, let's go. So I am about 5 kilometres in to the Boston Marathon route, and I think it's about time we address the elephant in the room. Why am I doing this? Because this is absolutely mental, but also so fun. For anyone who doesn't know what Boston Marathon is, it is iconic. It's quite often what people leave to last in their marathon goals. It's also quite often what people leave to last if they're chasing 6 stars. So Boston Marathon, it's a world major, and more than likely most people lining up tomorrow will have got a qualifying time in order to run, and those times are flipping fast. For me, for example, it is a sub 3:30 marathon, which is 100% on my bucket list. That is female 18 to 34, I believe. We'll leave a link in the description of all the different qualifying times if you want to check what yours would be. But yeah, mine is 3:30. It's a goal that I am chasing, and one day I want to get that. Maybe soon, maybe in the distant future. But what I thought was so strange about everyone chasing these goals is that you're chasing something that's kind of in the air. It's not tangible. It's just this, for some people, the time. Some people get a Boston qualifying time and they don't ever run Boston. For other people, it is getting here and it's running this course, which makes it all worth it. But how often do you actually get the chance to have a go at what you're chasing? Not very often. So thanks to PUMA and the running channel, I've been given the opportunity to run this epic route, come over to Boston, run it. I've got a whole crew in the car which is acting as a moving aid station. There they go. And we're gonna do it. We are gonna run the whole route. And one other thing that I am really enjoying, which is an interesting fact about the course, is it is point to point. So you might not have realised this. I never really thought about it when I run marathons before, but a lot of marathons will start and end in like roughly the same place. Boston, on the other hand, is literally a point to point. Like the start point is pretty much 42 kilometres as the crow flies away from the end, which means that you start in the countryside, and it's so cool. Like everything, all the houses are amazing. We've just run past something called Ashland. Right, first milestone, 10k done, 58 minutes, 38 seconds. We're not on track for sub 4, but that's fine. This is quite hilly. I don't want to put anyone off who's running Boston, although anyone who's doing it tomorrow obviously won't be watching one of the perks, or not perks, depending on how you want to see it, is I'm not doing it on marathon day, so I have to wait for the cars. Another fun fact is, why is Boston on Monday? So random. Every other major is on like a Saturday or a Sunday, and that ties into like everyone usually does their weekend long runs just like that on a weekend. But Boston is on a Monday. Reason being, it is always run on Patriots Day, which is the 3rd Monday in April. It's so nice, some people have put their signage out early. 20 kilometres, very exciting. But I realised I'm almost at halfway and I haven't done a fit check. In the words of Silly, I'm not sure I'm cool enough to say that. But let's quickly talk about kit, because that is so key with marathon running. And today, I think I've actually nailed kit. So it is about 14, 15 degrees, but it feels about 20. So I've got shorts and a tank on. I've got my cap on, which is keeping me nice and cool and shading my eyes as well. It was so bright at the start. And then on my feet, I have the wonderful PUMA Deviate Elite 2. I have done many a record and a marathon in PUMA shoes. I wore the Deviate NITRO 2s for Breaking 45. If you haven't watched that, go watch it. I then wore the Deviate NITRO 2s for Berlin Marathon. If you haven't watched that yet, go watch it. And the Deviate Elite is the kind of Deviate Nitro's faster cousin. We are coming up to, I don't want to butcher the pronunciation, it's either Wellesley or Wellesley College. We're just going past all of their kind of sports facilities right now. But near the college, loads of the students come out on race day and cheer, scream, and there's lots of other stuff about it too. But I thought, who better to tell you all about it and to provide a little bit of entertainment for me, because it's quite lonely out here, than someone who's a local and has lived in Boston for a very long time. So I'm about to go run and find Conor, who's going to tell me all about the Scream Tunnel and the very strange signs that get held at this part of the route. Let's go find him. And here he is.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I've been better.
Yeah.
So this stretch that we're on now, we should be hearing screams, right?
Yes, we should. We're entering Wellesley College, almost halfway through the race. This is the Wellesley College Scream Tunnel, they call it. Yes! Go Sarah!
You ran it back in 2017?
No, I ran in 2021.
2021.
I ran in the famous one that got pushed to October because of COVID, of course. So unfortunately, but fortunately, I got to run the only Boston Marathon that happened in October.
Yeah. Was it still on a Monday, or was it on
It was
Sunday?
Still on a Monday. Yep,
Okay.
of course, still Marathon Monday, no matter what. I think what I'll do next is I'll hop back in with you before we get to the firehouse turn.
Yeah,
and
perfect.
we'll take that firehouse turn together.
Look, it's the snack man.
Sarah's a little helper. What do you want, drinks or food?
Can I have food firstly?
Okay.
Now, I might not be doing this on marathon day, but I count myself incredibly lucky that if it was marathon day, I'm allowed to sign up and race, because that was not the case for the first 76 years of this race. And it was, I think, 1972 when women were first allowed to sign up and participate in the Boston Marathon, and they now represent 45% of the field, which is incredible. Quick public service announcement for anyone who's thinking of running Boston and going for a world record, just in case. It wouldn't count, so choose another race. So very excitingly, tomorrow Eliud Kipchoge is running the Boston Marathon, but even if he were to break his own world record and run like a sub 2 hour marathon, it wouldn't count as a world record. It would just count as, like, I think they call it like a world best or something. But yeah, basically it wouldn't count. Reason being, the course is point to point, and the rules are it can't be point to point, and it's also net downhill, which I'm very much feeling at the moment because it's so downhill. I'm happy to see you, but I know this means that we are at the start of what is known as Heartbreak Hill. However, it's not just one hill, is it?
It's not just one, yeah. So we're getting deep in the Newton Hills here. I think you've already had a couple of them, but we're about to take what's called the firehouse turn.
And this is the firehouse?
The firehouse.
Right, we're on the hill.
Hill, first one.
Is this as bad as it gets?
There's always more hills. It's the Boston Marathon.
They can't let you get away with it that easily. You haven't had to do any navigation. You might as well go up a bit. So we are coming up to Heartbreak, right? We've done 3.
Yeah, we've done 3 hills. So now we're in between Heartbreak and the previous one. So have kind of a flat section, a little roller to get us started, and then we'll take the lead into Heartbreak Hill.
And why is it called Heartbreak?
It is called Heartbreak Hill thanks to Johnny Kelly's broken heart. So Johnny Kelly, we ran past the statue. He's one of the Boston Marathon champions, and he made it this far with a Native American who no one really knew, who was called Tarzan Brown. And at mile 20, heading in to the final hill of the Newton Hills, Tarzan Brown overtook Johnny Kelly, and that's where he made his move and dropped him. And that's where he broke Johnny Kelly's heart, and
that
how
is
it got
such
its
a
namesake.
savage place to go for an overtake. Heartbreak Hill.
And so we are kind of creeping up toward the base of the hill here, and as we do that, you can see across the street, that's Tarzan Brown.
Oh, wow.
Statue there. So that the people who owned that house had to take down that tree in their front yard. It was a massive tree. So they decided to take the tree down and hire an artist just a couple years ago to come and carve Tarzan Brown
I'm sure they'll
into
grab
the
it.
tree. So now we have, with the heart below him there.
Yeah, that's sick. That's also like something that I bet so many people are going to miss when they run the race.
Yeah, probably. Going gets tough. Tough get going.
I don't want to get going. I want to get gone. Heartbreak Hill done. You know what? It didn't break my heart, but I wouldn't want to do it again.
There we go.
So we've just done turn number 2. We are 35, 36 kilometers in. We are getting closer to the city now. There are far more crossings, and after each one it's getting harder and harder to start running again. My legs are so, like, Heartbreak Hill is actually a heartbreak, like, post hill. Yeah. Because you go up and then you go down quite soon afterwards. Literally every single traffic light we're coming to is going white, which is the equivalent of green in the UK. And I keep being like, oh, I want to stop for a little bit. That's the best thing about running this marathon. There's no closed roads or stopped traffic. But we've got just under 3k to go. Okay, right, time for famous turn number, I don't know what turn we're on. Off we go, left on Boylston, coming in to the finish of Boston Marathon. Imagine this tomorrow, filled with people screaming. This is going to be so special. What a way to finish a marathon. This is epic, being able to run this in the dark. It's so cool. This is going to be such an incredible finish for so many people. So cool. Here we go. This is it. The last kind of 10-50 meters. Here is the finish line. Yes! Boston Marathon. Technically, I came first. if you really wanna, although I'm sure there will be some phenomenal people lining up here tomorrow. But what I want to say about Boston is that even if you don't care about marathon running, this is iconic, like so iconic. I got wanting to chase a time and wanting to get into this race prior to today, but until you are out on this course seeing like the incredible houses down in, I want to say Natick, but I'm probably saying that wrong, or when you go through Newton and see the firehouse and the hills and like the colleges, like there's so much here, like there's so much to see. It feels worthy that so many people put so much time into like getting here, that the course would have to be special if you're going to put that amount of hours in, and it definitely is. So I want to know who watching this has either got a BQ or is chasing one. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to go and take a very well-deserved break and get ready to watch thousands of people cross this line tomorrow and take on this epic course, and I'm really excited to do it knowing exactly what they're going through. I'll see you at the next one. And if you want to watch me run a race with crowds, go and watch this. See ya.